Hi, my name is Audrey. I'm a fiction writer from Ghana, currently pursuing my MFA in Creative Writing at the Iowa Writers Workshop. Today we're going to be talking MFAs, that is, what is an MFA, what's all the hype about MFA programs, the typical application process and requirements. I'll take you through a list of schools that you can apply to and share my personal tips on how to make your application strong. Disclaimer, nobody has asked me to do this. I'm just a student trying to share these experiences because I feel like it will be useful for anyone who needs a sign or just needs some encouragement to apply to an MFA program. In the meantime, comment down below what genre you work in, what you like to write about, what books you're reading, and if you've ever considered doing an MFA as part of your writing journey. Now let's get right into the video. It's a Master of Fine Arts degree where you specialize in writing, be it fiction, poetry, non-fiction, screenwriting, and the like for 2 to 3 years. You get to take crafts classes, classes on literary theory. You take workshops where you get to give feedback to other people's work and also have your work read and critiqued. You may do a teaching assistantship or a research assistantship in literature, and you have the time to write and also have the opportunity to interact with like-minded people in the field. Many people do MFA so they can advance their careers in writing and publishing and editing, teaching, professorship, and so on. Why not? You have 2 to 3 years where you can just live, breathe, eat literature. You have ample time to write, and most of the time it is fully funded. I think it's very useful to do an MFA sometime in your writing journey if you can, because your work as a writer is taken very seriously, your identity as a writer is taken very seriously, and you have the opportunity to learn closely from very successful writers in the field who will be working as faculty members. For example, I am just done with my first year at the Writers Workshop, and I have been taught by Carmen Maria Machado, Jamil Brinkley, Sarah Theka Matthews, Samantha Chan, who's the director of the workshop. You also get to form a network of writers who are either in your cohorts or who are already published and out in the world. For example, 2 days ago, there was a reading by Uche Okonkwo, who's the author of A Kind of Madness that just came out. We have readings and Q&A sometimes where we get to meet. Last semester, we met Alexander Chi, James Patterson was around, John Green was around, Kaveh Akbar was around. So many people come here from time to time, and you have the opportunity to meet these people who are already doing so well in the field and learn from them. You get to have teaching experience. For example, next semester I'll be teaching fiction, poetry, and non-fiction. You also have the opportunity to attend certain writing events where you can meet editors, you can meet agents, you can meet publishers. And also, I think doing an MFA looks good on your CV for when you want to have opportunities for, professorship and things like that. Now, this may vary from school to school, but there's generally 5 things that you're required to submit as part of your application. First is your writing sample, then your statement of purpose, some letters of recommendation, your CV or resume, and transcripts from your undergrad studies. For your writing sample, you're required to turn in a specific number of pages of your best work. In Iowa, for example, you're required to turn in 30 to 80 pages of what you think is the best work that you can submit. So this could be 2, 3, 4 short stories, depending on the length of your story, so long as they add up to 30 to 80 pages. You can also turn in 2 stories and a novel excerpt. You can turn in, let's say, 1 short story and a novel excerpt, or just a novel excerpt. It depends on what you would like to do. As for your statements of purpose, I think it's the opportunity for you to make your application stand out even more, because so many people are going to be turning in very good writing. And I think that the statement of purpose is where you can prove or show the personality behind the writing, so that when they see your statement, they're like, oh, well, this is the kind of inspiration, or this is the kind of personality that we would like in the workshop. So here you're going to be introducing yourself, talking about yourself in terms of your writing journey. You will talk about your influences, the things that you are reading, and what has brought you to writing. You will talk about why it is you are choosing that MFA program in particular and in that particular school. So that's a very good opportunity to show them that you have done a lot of research about the school and this is a school that you care about. So over here, you can talk about a particular faculty member that you're excited to work with when you come. It's also very good to mention some experience that you have had in the writing field, be it publications, be it workshops. It's also a good idea to talk about the project that you'll be working on when you arrive. So in my application, for example, I give a brief synopsis of the novel that I'll be working on when I come, and also spoke about the other things in the general literary industry that I'm interested in researching. You want to make a good case for why they should pick you, and also talk about how the MFA is going to be instrumental in your future career as a writer. Most schools require that you submit 2 to 3 recommendation letters, so make sure that you have people who can give a good testament to your writing abilities or to your abilities in general to be able to do a program such as this. So make sure that you're reaching out to anybody in your writing circles that you think can give you a very strong recommendation. Including a creative CV in your application is a good way to show that you are serious about pursuing a professional career in creative writing. So here you can talk about publications that you have done, awards that you might have won, workshops that you have done, fellowships that you have been in, or any personal projects that you might be working on, just anything to show that you have already begun your journey professionally in the creative writing field. Not every school requires this, but if you do have some experience, it's very helpful to show this, just to show that you can actually do an MFA program. As for your transcripts, you just get transcripts from your undergrad studies, and it doesn't matter how long ago it is you did your undergrad. So many people come to the program from different fields and from maybe having worked in a different field for so many years. I in particular studied computer science before coming. You don't need to have done maybe an undergrad degree in English or creative writing whatsoever. And not every school also requires GRE scores, but just make sure that you check the requirements of your school before you apply. Here on the screen is a list of 10 schools that I think have good MFA programs that you can apply to. Obviously, this is not an exhaustive list, so please do your research. Start working on your application now. We have May, June, July, August. That's ample time to write a new story, to edit, re-edit until most application seasons begin. Make sure you have somebody who is going to give you very critical feedback, even if it hurts, because you need to turn in your strongest work. Everybody around the world is applying for these MFA programs for very few spots, so you have to make sure that you're turning in your best work that you have absolutely no doubt about. I think that your work should be bringing something unique, whether it's in terms of style, it's in terms of voice, it's in terms of the idea. I think that you need to turn in something that is bold, something that shows a lot of potential. You don't need to be some Toni Morrison with the best sentences or the best stylistic choices, but I think that your work has to sing, it has to show potential, that it has some life. 4 or 5 months until applications begin also is ample time for you to try and get some more writing and publishing experience if you can, just so you are turning in as strong a CV or as strong a personal statement as possible. And also, even if you have a novel excerpt, I think that it's advisable to add at least one short story, just so you can show proof of being able to complete something. I also think that even though you might be allowed to turn in, let's say, as much as 80 pages, you shouldn't. And this is my personal opinion. I just think that if you're turning in, let's say, 4 short stories, I feel like the more stories you turn in, the higher the risk of you having one story that might weaken your entire submission. If you have 2, 3 very strong stories, just turn those in. I think that's better than turning in pages and pages of work that could somewhere along the line weaken your submission. If you've been looking for a sign, I think this is it. If you've been in 2 minds as to whether you should take such a big step in your writing career, I think it is a very good opportunity to take. You don't have to have it all figured out. I think that this is a place for learning and growth. It has been a place of immense personal growth and development for me as an individual and as a writer, and I think that it can be true for you too. I have already, even as I'm ending my first year, I've already learned and read so much. I have witnessed an evolution in my writing and the way I think about writing, and I think that it's something that can happen for you as well. And I especially want to encourage international students, Ghanaians especially. I especially want to encourage Ghanaians to apply. I especially want to encourage people from low-income backgrounds. Like me, coming from a low-income background, I know how difficult it can be sometimes to be so ambitious, to show your ambition so clearly, and to want to chase your dreams, especially when it doesn't feel like it's possible. And I just want to say that it's very possible. I think that this is a step that you should take. I'm so excited to be in this program. The IRS's workshop being one of the most prestigious programs in the world. I was really going in for my ambition. I said, this is the program I want to be in. This is the birthplace since the 60s or whatsoever for so many Nobel Prize winners and Pulitzer Prize winners. I'm like, this is the place I want to be. I want to be a part of this success story. And so I decided to do this, and I think that everyone who wishes to do an MFA program should. I know that people have their reservations about MFA programs, and I agree, there's so much BS anywhere you go. So I think that you come and you focus on getting what it is you came here for, be it ample time to write, be it the connections that you want to have, be it teaching experience, whatever it is that you think you would need an MFA program for, I think you can come and get. I hope that this video was useful. If there's anything that I didn't make quite clear, you can ask any questions in the comment section down below, and all the best in your MFA applications.